Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Feels like a while since we've done this.
Has been a little while.
Has been a little while.
Couple weeks. Well, there's been videos, but we haven't filmed in a little while.
No, I know. This is nice to be back at it.
We're fresh.
So we have a new face on the channel.
That's a new special guest.
Great friend of ours, Mr. Galvin Green himself.
Thank you.
Jonathan Wong.
Hi.
Good
Thanks
to be
for joining
here.
us, pal. So Jonathan fits in a bracket that I think, we've talked a lot about trying to find people who appeal to the wider audience, and you guys can obviously relate to the swing speed that Jonathan has. So I think that's why this is going to be such a good video for people to see and see the process and that sort of thing.
Yep.
But we're doing it differently this time.
Yes.
We're doing this as this is going to be a series known as the Retrofit.
Yeah, and I think it's a question we get a lot is I've invested in a set of irons.
Yep.
So Jonathan has a set of P790s.
Yep.
He was fit into his shaft. His swing has changed, got more speed now. And people want to know what the value of that shaft change is. And we get tons of questions about, I'm spinning my irons too much, I should change my shaft. Yeah. And those questions I think are easier to answer because the answer is pretty much no. Yeah. But it's different when someone has changed their golf swing, probably doesn't have enough weight now or something you're going to want to play with. So what is, what's the sort of the value proposition of coming in for a fit just to change the shafts? Keep your irons the way they are in the heads, and then just invest in new shafts.
Well, I think what it comes down to is Jonathan's curious about, we're talking about you in the third person right now, but I'm sure you will be curious right now about how much is all my hard work over the winter, how much has that paid off? Yeah. What does it now look like? And there's going to be so many people, all over, certainly the country and sort of, anywhere that have done some great work over the winter time. We have a big off season here. They've maybe committed to doing October time. I was tired of hitting it a certain way. I'm committing to a lesson program or going to work with a coach. I want to see what that's like, and that's exactly where you're at.
Yeah, I've been working with Larry for the last 4 months,
and I'm sure some people who are familiar with Larry's channel and ours, and they've seen some of the lessons because you've done some. Yeah,
I've been on Instagram before for sure.
He's been a star.
Yeah, and he's totally changed my swing.
Oh,
like I was pulling, coming over the top. He's getting my legs more involved.
Yeah.
Speed has increased
a lot.
I like these heads.
Yeah.
The shaft is fine. I don't feel, but I think dispersion, spin, and things like that need to be adjusted.
Well, and you were doing a lot of the lessons in here over the winter, so it was nice for me to be able to see the progression and watch what's going on, and obviously see the work where you're going, and then chat to Larry about his vision for your game. And for me, that's the holy trinity of improvement for a player. Is we work with you, and you've got your physio, you've got your swing instructor, you've got your equipment analyst, that sort of things. You've got people all around you who are looking out for the benefit of your game. And today I'm really excited to see kind of what's showing up.
Absolutely.
So I've pulled up a little bit of data from 2017, 2018 when we were doing this sort of testing. Right. And you were like 80, 81 miles an hour. So it'll be good today to see what that swing speed is now. Absolutely. That was probably why we picked P790 at the time, because what handicap are you right now? 4?
I'm a 2.
A 2, 2.2.
Right? Yep. So I started as a 4 at the beginning of the year. I've come down.
That's phenomenal.
But just the feel, the distance.
I know.
I think it's all paths with me. I was coming over the top a lot. Now I'm coming more inside. That's been a big difference. I don't necessarily know if my swing speed's changed a ton. Yeah. But my ball speed's definitely changed.
And I've noticed that, certainly the work you do with Larry, it can change. Like when he gets the legs in going in your swing. Yeah. I see spikes in your game now that I've never seen you hit it 270, 280 with the driver. Yeah. For sure. I'm very used to seeing you hit it 250 with the driver. So you've definitely had some speed gains. It'll be interesting to see, which is always the thing, how much can you hold on to? It's one thing doing it in a lesson, the other thing is holding on to it and owning that speed, and that's now you're in possession of it.
Yeah, and he's given me more variety. Like I can swing easier if I want to, or I can swing harder at it if I want to. So it gives you that second gear, which is really interesting.
Absolutely, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. You want to hit a few sort of preliminary ones here, and we can take a look. So we've got P790s, NS Pro 850s.
How heavy are those? Are they on the light side?
On the 85 gram light
right
side, yeah. Gotcha. So we were always trying to get a little bit more launch. The loft on this is 28. Okay. The lie is 60. So
is that a bit on the flat side?
Yeah, a couple of degrees flat. Okay. So we were chatting about different things. For Jonathan, there's swing 1 at 86 miles an hour. So
for sure has more speed.
Way more speed.
So would you say this setup? Obviously, the heads we know are meant to give more launch and ball speed and things like that. He's just roasting these.
Just roasting these. This is
the
funny.
shaft was probably chosen to give him a little extra speed through club head speed, I should say.
Yep. Well, John, hold on 1 second, because I can't let you continue without just stopping you to tell you that your highest ball speed when we tested these irons before was about 114 miles an hour. You're now at 120, just about 124. You're 88.6, and whether there's the adrenaline of the camera.
Yeah, I bet. I'm sure there is. A little hooky, a little.
See, that's what people don't realise about Matt. Matt actually only hits at 275, but we turn the camera on him, and that's where he
I make people film me on the course, so I swim faster.
No, but those are fantastic.
That's great. Yeah.
But we're looking at that now, looking at having to manage it, and we thought this was going to be a retrofit. Who knows? This might not be a retrofit.
Wow. I like these shafts. I don't necessarily don't mind
or the heads, because
or the heads for sure.
My take on shafts is we don't really look to the shaft to change launch conditions. Right. They stabilize the swing, and they will also obviously create stability of club face. So you might be out of both here. I'm just looking at this already. This is the fastest I've ever seen.
Yeah. Does the spin look low?
Spin
looks a little low,
definitely.
Maybe?
I mean, looking at the peak there at 73 feet, that ball's coming in at 38-degree land angle. We're going to want to.
It's got some heat coming to a green.
Yeah, we're going to want to see that a little bit higher. We've got one of the main key elements here towards height, which is a lot of ball speed going on. But the other two we are lacking a fraction in. So we'll manage those. It might be a golf ball. We've seen in recent weeks. Mizuno. We've seen cut blue. We've seen these sorts of things make a big change.
That's a good point.
I've always struggled with height.
I know.
Getting the ball up.
You're a lower ball
hitter. I'm a lower ball hitter, very penetrating.
That.
But obviously I'd like more height for sure.
All right, let's see a few more.
Good swing.
Interesting thing was you missed that fraction.
Yeah, little Healy.
It's flown 170 on a miss.
Yeah.
Better.
That's it. Well,
yeah, nice. So, are you missing right now when you miss?
Well, yeah. My bad shot used to be always left,
and so now it's a bit of a.
Now it's a bit of a draw.
Similar to me, ironically, it's kind of the same thing.
I mean, can we just take a second just to give Larry a huge plug here?
I know, it's crazy.
No kidding. He's helped.
Wes is wild.
Like I've had lots of lessons over time,
I know.
but he has. To rebuild my swing, it's been very simple.
Yeah.
He started at the basics, just getting path.
I know.
And then, it's helped so much.
Well, I mean, I actually had this conversation with a good friend of mine the other day, and I've watched his game for several years make incremental changes, which he's quite happy with. And then I said, you have to go see Larry, because he could condense that learning period into months rather than years.
Yeah,
which is exactly what I'm seeing. This is wild. I expected for you today to be 84, 85, hitting it quite nicely. I did not expect to see you flying really at 186. I mean, you're 3 miles an hour shy of average PGA Tour ball speed. It's fantastic. It's really good to see. Now that iron is very hot, so we can't miss that, but it's excellent. Lots of good stuff going on. Your coach will be very proud to see that dynamically, if I click on the average here,
he's actually
a little bit toe up with flat golf clubs. That was nice, Larry. Obviously loves to see that handle down, so you're not kind of extending and coming up and out your posture.
Yeah.
So that's a really good sign straight away. So dynamically, that toe being a little bit up, it's not helping our sort of shot shape here. We need to sort of control that.
And he's shallowed out my swing quite a bit. I was very steep before.
Steep with a little bit of a forward shaft leaning, and the ball was just really.
So I'd de-loft and it would go low. And
yeah.
So what are you seeing that needs work from the averages?
Well, I mean, working with the ball speed, trying to retain as much of that as we can. I'd love to see the launch angle up a couple of degrees. Okay. I'd love to see the spin rate come up about 400 or 500. Mm-hmm.
Is loft going to be a factor here, or do you think you need to change heads right away?
I think CG location is front of mind for me right now. Yep. Straight away it pops into my mind that I want to put you in a 585 Strixon, slightly flat.
Is this low CG or is this?
I mean, it's certainly not the lowest CG golf club out there. I think you'll benefit from something like a Strixon. So I'm going to grab those for us to try here. I thought this was going to be an iron fit.
Yeah.
A shaft fit.
Yeah. But you're not doing him a service by wasting $500 on shafts if it's not going to achieve what he wants to achieve.
100%. I think we can shortcut the improvements by going with a different head as well.
Let's do it.
All right. Okay, Jonathan, so made a little few changes there. Some great results with the P790s, but things have to just get tweaked around a little bit now.
Okay.
The dynamics are so different. So we have to try and get, like we talked about, CG a little bit lower. I've given you another degree of loft to use. We've taken advantage of that toe being a little bit up and moved a little bit flatter. So, and we've changed the profile of shaft. So without kind of diving too much into that, let's hit a few.
Yeah. For sure.
Interesting. Didn't sound like you got all of it either.
Yeah, little Healy.
Okay.
Pretty good though. See, that's interesting because that probably would have curved a little worse than that.
That felt toey to me.
Was definitely a little bit toey.
So do you think that the shaft profile change was helping it not overdo? Is that what you're looking to?
Swing.
That was better.
That's a really good swing.
Yeah, I think it's timing the shaft a bit.
Well, it's a different shaft as well, isn't it? I mean,
the weight for sure feels heavier.
Is it holding the face a little more square form? Is that what you're looking to?
Seems to be. Okay. Yeah, it definitely seems to be.
That was better.
It's a nice strike, Jonathan. I mean, that for you to carry that 185 and it didn't overdraw at all.
Yeah, that's 3 in a row. Look at the height of that.
That one is fantastic. That is completely different than before. Be curious how high that actually was flighted.
Those peaks are now really creeping up. So look at that little sort of
first couple were definitely a little difficult to time.
But you're getting in a groove with them now, it looks like. So 94, so almost 20 feet higher.
So that's what I wanted to see.
Okay.
So
holy crap.
ball speed has not went down.
Yeah.
Launch has come up 1.5 degrees. Spin is getting higher. You've increased your carry number, but while getting way more control on the way in. So if we look at your sort of landing angle here, you're now getting towards, like, for us, we always talk about that 45 degree magic number. You'll have way more control of your irons now with they're coming into the greens with that.
That's very
pretty good though, eh?
Can we let them in on the secret of the extra sauce you put on the new golf ball?
Yeah, so we did try the new Tour X.
The RB Tour
Which
X.
feels good. It feels good.
Does it? Yeah, you like it? All right, so the first shaft we had there was the True Temper Elevate. A little bit softer tip section, really designed for guys to get it up in there a little bit easier. So, marrying all the things we were trying to do with that head, we gave you a golf ball that would do the same thing, we gave you a shaft that would do the same thing. So back at this point where we're putting everything into the package that promotes the right ball flight.
Okay. It definitely felt heavier.
It should do for you.
Yeah.
And the better you sort of, or the more used to that weight you get, you should actually be able to start to use the weight for more speed. So you start to leverage the mass a little bit. And especially the way you're working your swing with Larry and using your legs and that sort of stuff, you should be able to, in transition, use that little extra weight.
Because I'm very quick back and I'm very quick in transition.
Definitely.
So that's where
you've always been a little bit that way, and I think that extra weight there was managing that club face much, much better.
Interesting.
All right, so Nippon 105, stiff on this one. So dropping down
shade of weight off?
Yeah, a little bit away. Lovely hit. It's going to be so good just for the consistency of that shot shape.
It's amazing how much the right side has disappeared.
Yeah. It's going.
May not have been your best strike, but still.
Spin rate was interestingly a bit higher.
The last few it's come up a bit. Yeah.
That was better.
Love that. Yeah.
That's lovely.
Ooh.
Good swing.
A little bit low. I mean, your tendency is no question to catch it low on the blade.
Yeah.
That's creating a little bit of downward tilt on the flight. So anytime you fall below that red line,
I got to get to my back heel.
Yeah, you lose a little bit of ball speed from that.
Funny, these are feeling a little quick. Like I feel quick with this now.
Almost feel like it's affecting your tempo because it's a hair light.
It's lighter.
Good swing. Really good.
That was better.
Good adjustment.
Try to swing a little easier.
And you're feeling like there where you're trying to load into your left side a little bit more on those?
Yeah, load to my heel,
left to your left heel on the backswing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the biggest difference, to be honest, if we throw those on there, is the ball speed.
Yeah.
So looking at kind of everything the elevate was producing a little bit more ball speed.
Has the club speed come down a little bit as we've started to hit quite a few balls? Or pretty consistent, no?
Consistent.
Wow, that's actually interesting how much more efficiency he was getting out of that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that, to be honest.
And just kind of laying that strike point just on top of each other, so nothing...
So what do you think that is then? Why would he be so much more efficient with that particular profile, you think?
I mean, I think it comes down to timing. I think it comes down to transition and how the shaft is loading and the one that unloads it, obviously the right time.
Slowing it down a little
bit?
I
think I wait a little long. Yeah, I mean, just wait that extra second to let it go.
That's what it is. It's just that timing, that loading and release of the spring, which is what we always call the shaft, the spring. It happens at the right point with the elevate.
Interesting.
Because these definitely feel a little more boardy, like they feel like along the length of the shaft.
And that's a bad feeling for some for people to go lighter and stiffer. It's not. You never want to go lighter and stiffer if you want to create energy.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a horrible feeling actually to go too light, too stiff, because you have nothing that then creates or the timing. You don't have weight and you don't have the loading. So always when people go, I want to get a bit quicker, I'm going to go with a 50 gram X. I always
go,
do not do that. Yeah, very rarely.
You just get quick, right? Your body and timing.
Straight back in there like an old faithful friend.
And it's just carried an extra 5-6 yards right away.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like I feel a little.
Yeah, your ball speed went right back up.
Ball speed went back up.
Spin.
Launches around that 15.5 where we've seen it.
Wow. His timing
was a little hard.
It's okay. It's okay.
I mean, a hair short left as a miss is way better than way long right. I can tell you that.
Get the putt in your hands.
Yeah. Look at that. Nice spin. Yeah, the ball speed's that was just a hair open. That's the only reason.
Jonathan, give us one more real good one here, okay? Tough second shot to a par 4. That's cool, because that was the old miss.
Yeah, that would have turned way over before, and it's just hung on.
Just hung on to the left edge, stuck in the green.
Ball speed stayed. It wasn't your
that
best
was a little
strike,
heavy.
Stayed up, didn't it? Stayed up.
That was just the face angle. Just
and heavy. A bit.
Was it a little heavy in the strike?
Certainly got away with it.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about sole a lot, Matty, and obviously the type of people that benefit from the V-sole doesn't tend to be the picker, it tends to be the person who's on the heavier side. I think that's another reason Jonathan will really enjoy these.
Right. Being in the 4 to 5 degrees downrange.
Could be something that we would have a conversation about a combo set as well.
Shorter irons.
Yeah, maybe somewhere in the 7, 8, 9 wedge range, or maybe 8, 9 wedge range for the 7s. Give you a little bit more control off of this solid sort of one-piece forging rather than the kind of two-piece.
Right. Just in terms of feel and consistency of distance control would be your goal.
Yep.
Awesome.
How does that feel?
It feels good. I'm amazed that the heavier shaft.
I know. Actually ends up being better and more comfortable.
Yeah.
night and day difference.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, because you create a new normal. People get so afraid to change because they go, well, I've always done that, and you know, they'll talk about Tiger and his X100s, and he's not ever changed because he doesn't feel the need to. But you know, you have to try other things in order to experience what could be better.
It's true. Amazingly enough, you've maintained or actually slightly exceeded the original ball speed, which I think people will be surprised to see. He had more loft. More loft. It wasn't a P790 anymore.
Yep.
So you actually picked up a bit of speed.
Definitely.
Launch angle came up, spin came up. I would say it's 10%, right?
Yeah.
It's quite significant.
Quite a lot.
So you ended up with a straighter, longer ball flight that comes in steeper, lands faster, or stops faster.
So you kind of win in every avenue. You know, you don't have to give up any distance.
Yeah.
You have way more control on the landing angle coming into those greens. And obviously just the accuracy from the face control as well. You've gained in every which way. I think you just got to the point where you're overpowering that Nippon 850.
Yeah.
Shaft was working too much lead deflection. The face was shutting down a little bit.
Yeah. I felt it really releasing. Like it.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, going through really hard.
And those were, I mean, this is that's another good point to touch on. Those were 850 stiffs.
Yeah.
But those guys, I mean, if I grab one, I mean, in terms of stiff shaft and the designation of stiff. I mean, I done this to you the other day, and I was like, you know, they're stiff, but they still really bend.
Stiff is relative, I guess.
Relative to that range of shafts, not relative to really any others.
Good fit.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I think that's it in a nutshell. I mean, that went in a different direction we thought it was going to.
But that's what happens, right?
That's what needed to happen.
Yep. Awesome. All right.
Cool.
Thanks, Jonathan. Good
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You'll see Jonathan a little bit more in the channel.
I want to see him do a driver fit.
I know.
He's got a bunch of toys over there that he brought in, different shafts and heads, so I think we can dial him in a little.
Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully there's some nuggets in there that help you as you start your season and sort of come out of the winter sort of practice, and maybe if you've been practicing or you're not practicing and you're still thinking of changing, hopefully there's some stuff in there for everyone.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.